Hi, welcome to Regional Stocks, Forex and Futures with Jonathan. Today is 21st of September 2014 and it feels like it's been a long time since I have not done any YouTube. Well, actually it's just about 2 weeks only. I was away for the entire week, the last whole week. Only came back on late Friday night, took the whole day, slept the whole day to recover. Finally able to look at the market the entire day today just to see what to catch up for this week. Now, for those of you watching what you have missed last week, if you're watching, the big story will of course it's one of the big story is the pound. That's one of the big story because Scotland decided to vote no for independence. So Scotland will stay in United Kingdom. And after a massive higher, as the news go by, we had a double top, and then we have a head and shoulder, and it collapsed down all the way. So in other words, pound dollar basically lost almost the entire gains that it had on a Thursday. Okay, so back to almost square one, we shall see. Okay, so right now to see whether the downtrend, well, it is downtrend, let's shall see whether we should continue. Okay, now last week on Thursday early morning, also FOMC. Of course, the big news on Friday is the Alibaba and the 40 thieves. Alibaba and the 40 thieves causes not only Alibaba, BABA, that's Alibaba, what a massive from $68 opened at about $92, rally all the way up to $99.70, sell down, rally, and basically close at about $93.87, thereabout. Of course, one of the stock that was massively affected by Alibaba, of course, is Yahoo. Okay, for those of you been watching my YouTube, you know that I've been alerting Yahoo since about $36 and flew all the way up. And right now, that's what we call sell on news. By the time you realize Yahoo has something to do with Alibaba, you may be a little bit too late. The price has already rallied. This is what we call the sell on news. Okay, so on Friday, basically Yahoo major sell down. Okay, price got really volatile, and then there was reports stating that basically the entire Yahoo is almost no value. The only thing Yahoo has right now is its shares in Alibaba. If we strip away the shares of Alibaba, basically Yahoo is nothing. So, well, a hint. You may want to buy Yahoo and strip away the Alibaba share, you can get Yahoo for free, isn't it? Well, that's a hint. Okay? And also last Friday was also the quad witching option expiration, which means coming in about 1.5 weeks is a brand new quarter, which is also the last quarter of the year, so which is also coming to earnings report. So watch out. September is coming into October. Market always gets volatile. Okay, so let's just see what's going to happen this week. This week, if we take a look at Forex Factory, we start off the week with a little bit of a climax. Okay, why? On Monday, watch out, Draghi speaking. Tuesday is going to be one really volatile trading day. We started off with China manufacturing, European manufacturing, flash Germany manufacturing, GBP, everything. So a lot of manufacturing numbers are on Tuesday, so watch out, be very cautious on Tuesday. Wednesday, a little bit of news, but then Thursday, apart from a little bit of news coming soon, Friday, boring. So we got excitement in the early part of the week, and then we plateau off to the end of the week with a quiet Friday. Okay, so that's how we're going to look out for this week. Now, let's take a look at the market then. While I wasn't around, couldn't even watch the market for the last 5 days due to internet is really bad. Market fantastic, rallied, broke through this resistance right here in Dow Jones. Okay, similarly, take a look at S&P. S&P also broke higher. Okay, similarly S&P also broke higher. However, the difference between Dow Jones still closed above the resistance. Okay, we have a possible shooting star, so be very cautious. And if you take a look at the volume, it's slightly a little bit higher, so watch out for that. However, take a look at S&P. S&P, we close below the breakout. Okay, we close below the high of the breakout, so a little bit of warning sign, so be very cautious on that. Okay, however, take a look at the not opened. Let's just open up Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq similarly, Nasdaq a little bit weak. Okay, also close below the breakout, so be very cautious about the market right now. Okay, potentially this could be a breakout failure. An example, oh, my paper has been falling. Okay, an example of a breakout failure, Hang Seng. That's the example of a breakout failure. Hang Seng, notice here, breakout, couldn't hold above, close below, it's been all the way down. Okay, so watch out for a breakout failure, and let's see whether will this happening in the US Dow Jones and also S&P. Okay, next, few market, that's what we call the sell or news. FTSE, we have a possible shooting star candle right here, so watching this candle very closely right now. That's a basically sell or news. That's what happened when it's sell or news. Okay, so watching out for FTSE. Similarly, Germany, we have a possible bearish candle. Okay, it is also, if we go below, because right now it is also similarly is also a breakout failure, except Dow Jones still above, but S&P, Nasdaq, Germany, we close below. Now if we go below, if Germany goes below 9676, that means this candle, when this candle is negated, similarly like Hang Seng, when this candle is negated, not a good news. Okay, so watching out for London, watching out for Germany. Okay, Hong Kong, well, basically Hong Kong, let's see. I wonder if there is a possible Fibo. Yeah, it's a little bit too far. If there's another possible Fibo, well, yeah, there's a possible Fibo at a Fibo 50%. So watching out. Why? Because there's a sideways possible start of a trend right here. It's possible Hang Seng may have a short-term rebound. So everything watching out for Dow Jones and US. Okay, so Nikkei. Oh, Nikkei. Possible shooting star candle right there. Okay, and that shooting star come with a little bit higher volume, so be a little bit cautious on that. So watching out. But what is not causing Nikkei to fall is actually the fantastic dollar yen ballistic higher. If you took a look at the big picture, look at the angle of this upside. This is a fantastic upside. After consolidation right here, it flew all the way up. Now remember what I mentioned in the last YouTube. If dollar yen don't go down, it's very hard for the market to go lower, and it is also very hard for gold to go higher, which is why gold has been collapsing immediately after highlighted this possible symmetrical triangle. Gold has been collapsing. In fact, gold could not even go higher just because dollar yen has been going higher. If dollar yen goes lower, then do watch out for possible gold to bounce higher. Okay, now one counter to pay attention to is one currency. Pay attention. I'm watching this currency very closely. If I can find it, pound dollar. Okay, watching this particular currency, pound dollar, to see whether there's potential to go higher. So watching pound dollar on daily candle very closely. Next, okay, well, just give overall summary. Market right now we're not out of the woods, even though we are still, like it or not, we are still uptrending. Dow Jones is uptrend, Europe is also uptrend, but do take note, Europe, like London, has been consolidating in more of a sideways. It somehow stopped. It stopped right here. Okay, so watching this out, because right now this is more like a can't really draw it nicely, but you get what I'm trying to say. This is more like a bearish wedge. So watching this out very, very closely. Now, if and only if Germany DAX goes lower, we could have a possible shoulder, head, and a shoulder. Only if it goes lower in Germany DAX. Okay. Of course, the resistance to watch out for on the upside would be the double top resistance right here in Germany DAX. Okay. Now, okay, basically, if you take note, I'm watching the overall market, European market, US market very, very closely. But so far, what has been happening in the European and the US market hasn't really much affecting the Jakarta Composite. Jakarta Composite throughout the week has been a fantastic rally. We have a shooting star that caused this sell down right here. Now watching to see whether this another shooting star will cause a sell down. So watching Jakarta Composite very, very, very closely. However, if Jakarta Composite goes up or down, one counter I'm watching very closely is Bumi Resources. I know, Bumi Resources is a counter that a lot of people, let's just say, has been waiting for a long time. However, lately, I've been noticing Bumi Resources seems to have a consolidation. So watching Bumi Resources very, very closely to see whether it is a possible accumulation. So Bumi Resources must break the resistance at, let me give you the exact resistance. Exact resistance is 207. Can't exactly draw it right here, but you get a meaning. The resistance for Bumi Resources is 207. So watching Bumi Resources to break 207 closely. Okay, so now do take notes. If you'd like to find out more, you can always visit my website, WCA Charting Academy. So once a while I'll be holding a seminar, and I'll be holding a workshop this coming week. So do check this website for my next coming workshop happening in Jakarta. Okay, I'll see you again, and you be safe. Thank you.